Hello English learners, welcome to our English learning channel. Learn English easily through stories. I am your host Robert. Have you ever said, "I'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow, I will wake up early. Tomorrow, I will work hard. Tomorrow, I will change my life." But somehow, tomorrow never comes. If you have ever delayed your dreams, this story is for you. Because today, you might finally understand what tomorrow is really costing you. In a quiet village surrounded by wide green fields and a slow-moving river, there lived a young man named Zion. Zion was 24 years old. He was intelligent, strong, and full of ideas. He often told people, "One day, I will build the biggest farm in this village. I will have workers, machines, and my crops will be sold in cities far away." People listened. Some even believed him. But there was one problem. Zion had a favorite word: tomorrow. Every morning, the sun would rise gently over the village. Farmers would walk to their fields. The sound of tools, animals, and work filled the air. But Zion? He stayed in bed. "I'll start tomorrow," he would whisper. When his friends worked under the hot sun, Zion sat under a tree. He talked about success. He imagined his future. He planned big things. But he never acted. Zion lived with his father, a hard-working farmer named John. John had spent his entire life working in the fields. His hands were rough. His face was tired. But his eyes were wise. One evening, John looked at Zion's empty land. The soil was rich. The water was nearby. Everything was perfect. Except, nothing was growing. John said softly, "My son, this land could feed generations. Why is it empty?" Zion smiled lazily. "Don't worry, Baba. I have big plans. I'll start tomorrow." John didn't reply. Because he had heard that word too many times. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. Nothing changed. Zion continued dreaming. The land stayed empty. Sometimes he felt guilty. But he quickly comforted himself. "I still have time. I'm still young. I'll start tomorrow." One day, a traveler came to the village. He was old, with white hair and calm eyes. People said he had seen many places and understood life deeply. Zion met him near the river. The traveler asked, "What do you do, young man?" Zion proudly said, "I'm going to be the most successful farmer here." The traveler looked at his clean hands and empty field. Then he asked, "When will you start?" Zion replied confidently, "Tomorrow." The traveler smiled. Not with happiness, but with understanding. The traveler took out a small, old watch. It looked simple, but it had a strange shine. He gave it to Zion and said, "This is a special watch. It shows something most people never see." Zion asked, "What does it show?" The traveler replied, "It shows how many tomorrows you have left." Zion laughed. "What do you mean?" The traveler said, "Every time you say, 'tomorrow,' one day disappears from your life." Zion didn't take it seriously. But he accepted the watch anyway. That night, Zion looked at the watch. At first, it showed a large number. Thousands of days. He smiled. "See? I have plenty of time." The next morning, he woke up late again. "I'll start tomorrow." He looked at the watch. The number had decreased. He frowned. Strange. Days passed. Every time Zion delayed his work, the number on the watch dropped. Slowly at first. Then faster. Zion began to feel uneasy. But still, he didn't act. One evening, Zion saw his father working alone in the field. His father was tired. Sweating. Struggling. Zion felt something heavy in his chest. "I should help him," But then his mind said, "I'll help tomorrow." He looked at the watch. The number dropped again. This time, it dropped a lot. Zion's heart started beating faster. Days later, a storm hit the village. Strong winds destroyed many crops. Farmers who had worked hard managed to save some harvest. But Zion? He had nothing. Nothing to lose. Nothing to save. Because he had never started. That night, he sat alone. For the first time, he felt fear. Zion looked at the watch again. The number was now very small. His hands began to shake. Where did all my time go? He remembered every tomorrow. Every delay. Every excuse. Tears filled his eyes. I thought I had time. At that moment, Zion understood something. Tomorrow is not a promise. It is a trap. Every time he said, tomorrow, he was quietly destroying his own future. The next morning, before sunrise, for the first time in his life, Zion woke up early. No excuses. No delays. He went to the field. The soil was hard. The work was painful. His hands hurt. His body ached. But he kept going. Day after day, Zion worked. He planted seeds. He carried water. He removed stones and weeds. It was not easy. Many times, he felt like quitting. But every time, he remembered the watch. And he said, "Not tomorrow. Today." Weeks passed. Small green plants began to appear. Zion smiled. For the first time, he saw real progress. Not dreams, but results. Months turned into years. Zion's field became one of the best in the village. Golden crops filled the land. People came to learn from him. His father looked at him with pride. And Zion? He was no longer the boy of tomorrow. He became the man of today. One day, Zion looked at the watch again. The number had stopped decreasing. He smiled. The traveler returned. He asked, "What did you learn?" Zion replied, "I learned that tomorrow is an illusion. The only time we truly have is today." The traveler nodded and disappeared. Dear listener, you don't need a magic watch to know the truth. Every time you delay, you lose something you can never get back. Time. So stop saying, tomorrow. Start now. Start small. Start afraid, but start. Because your dreams are not waiting. And neither is your life. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And remember, white right pointing backhand index success belongs to those who act today.